Mushoto Tino was a leader and a revolutionary thinker. He took a society that was feudal and governed by lords and turned it into a world power. He helped his people gain more personal independence and won the respect of the Western world. Mushoto was born November 3rd, 1852 in Tokyo, Japan, and was Emperor of Japan from 1867 to 1912. He was the second son of the Emperor Kome and was declared crown prince in 1860, following the death of his father in 1867. In 1868, he took the name Meijin, by which the era of his reign was also known. Unlike his father, Kome, he supported the need for modernization of Japan after the country's absence of contact with other nations for a 250-year period in which there was cultural and economic isolation. When the Meijin Emperor was restored as head of Japan, the nation was mostly agricultural and had little technological development. It was controlled by many semi-independent feudal lords. The Western powers of Europe and the United States had forced Japan to sign treaties that limited its control over its own foreign affairs. In 1868, Meijin took the Charter Oath of Five Principles, which launched Japan on the course of westernization. As emperor, he formally ordered the end of the feudal land system. This political act restored the emperor to power, but he did not rule directly. He accepted the advice of the group that had overthrown the shogun, and it was from this group that a small number of young men from the lower ranks of the samurai emerged to take control and establish the new political system. At first, their only strength was that the emperor accepted their advice. They moved quickly, however, to build their own military and economic control. By July 1869, the feudal lords had been requested to give up their domains, and in 1871, these domains were abolished and transformed into the beginning of a unified central state. The abolition of feudalism made it possible for huge social and political changes. Millions of people were suddenly free to choose their own jobs and move around without restrictions. The Japanese citizens began to ask for more voice in the government and for more social freedoms. Until World War I, Japan enjoyed record-breaking prosperity. The Japanese people had more money to spend, more leisure, and better education. They began living in cities where they came into contact with influences from overseas. Industrialization made traditional values less important, and instead focused on efficiency, independence, materialism, and individualism. To win the respect of the Western powers and convince them to change the unequal treaties that Japan had been forced to sign in the 1850s, Japan changed its entire legal system, adopting a new criminal and civil code that modeled after those of France and Germany. The Western nations finally agreed to revise the treaties in 1894, acknowledging Japan as an equal. Following this growth, Japan had regained complete control of its foreign trade and legal system, and by fighting and winning 2 wars, it had established full independence and equality in international affairs. When the Meijin period ended with the death of the emperor in 1912, Japan had developed a highly centralized, bureaucratic government, a constitution establishing an elected parliament, a well-developed transport and communication system, a highly educated population free of feudal class restrictions, an established and rapidly growing industrial sector based on the latest technology, and a powerful army and navy. Mushoto Tino truly changed his nation and all of its people forever.